Oh, we on?
You're on.
Okay, cool.
Live.
What happened to your tripod?
I've left it sitting in the office.
Chantry, would you please take a photo of that? Because all our phones are over there.
Morning, everybody. It's a Thursday morning. Every Thursday we hear from Jeremy Larkin. It's the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, good morning. Man, we have got things rigged up here in the studio. I wish folks could see it. I wish that we could flip the
A
Facebook
little
Live.
behind the scenes, huh?
So I want you to envision this. We have two, Jeremy Larkin here, host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. We have two phones recording. We always run YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Facebook Live, if you want to watch on Facebook Live, ask questions, comment. We've got a wonderful guest, Chantry Abbott, Field Mortgage, good buddy of mine. But we'll talk to him in a moment. So you can go to facebook.com/Jeremy Larkin. If you want to do YouTube Live, youtube.com/Go St. George TV. Anyway, apparently the tripod's out of commission. I don't know what's going on. One of the tripods. So we have a phone sitting on top of a box fan, which is wedged at the top of a bar stool, like director's chair.
Yeah.
For a
Classic.
perfect.
Jesse
picture.
nailed it. Man, I've never seen that configuration. You know what really sucks? Chantry, this is what you can gear up for. Of course, you don't. So I have a carport. I have a, historic. Chantry knows the home very well. So he knows where the property's at. Get ready to leave. Tons of chaos. We've got a huge event we're putting on for real estate agents today at the Brookwood community. 2-day event. This is kind of fun. They're going to be drawing for $1,000 cash, a Yeti cooler, and a Google Home for these agents that come out. It's a realtor-only event. So we've been putting all this time in, and it's just crazy, and it's chaotic, and I've been going at like 11 hours of work at that point. Ran home to drop one of my kids off to feed the dog. Back up, the one kid didn't close the door to the car. And there was a pillar on the carport of my 1966 home. Yeah. So let me explain
Wait,
how.
who won, the car or the pillar?
The pillar. So the door does shut. It does not open from the outside. I can look out and see daylight out the door, out the top of it, and the whole door will have to be replaced. It's
Not a good thing.
oh man, the humanity. This was, and I was rushing back to the office. 6 o'clock at night. Was there till 7:15. Had a meeting. Went back to the office again. Just one of those days. It's one of those days, man. So maybe Nixon at some point will screw something up, like leave the door open. And you back up, and then the other kid's like, "Well, why didn't you look to see if the door was closed?" What are you talking about? I have to look back and
It's your
see
fault,
if the
Dad.
door's closed.
It's your fault, Dad.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't even the perpetrator, but it's like, why would I look to see if the door's closed? Come on. Okay, I guess I could. I guess I can. I guess I can take ownership, right?
Yes, well, it's the only thing you can do.
Extreme Ownership, Jocko Willink. That's a cool book, by the way. That guy's a bad man. So that sucks. And anybody out there have these kind of fun experiences? I hope so. So we've got a couple of great things going on. Of course, our show is actually brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors, the Sunwood Homes, and we're going to be out there. If you're a real estate agent and you are not getting involved in coming out to see the Sunwood Homes project at Brookwood today, we're there 11 to 2 today, lunch for realtors, and then we're there again tomorrow, 11 to 2, lunch for realtors. But if you're an agent and you can't make it 11 to 2, you can come actually anytime up to 5:30 p.m. We'll still be there. So it's just if you want food, you got to come in there. So come on out and check this project out. It's amazing. It's going to be fun. But they just build this tremendous home. And Brookwood's such a cool community because no one even knows it exists. It's also brought to you by our friends at Field Mortgage. And Chantry's here in studio.
Good morning.
What's the latest thing your kid did that was a problem? I mean, has he done anything that was like, oh man, made a mess? Or is he just so cute and three or 4? Excuse me, 4 or 5. I'm trying to say 4 or 5. I thought he was still 4. So, like, is he doing anything stupid, or is he just being a cool little kid? Because, like, I went over to the house and wanted to play. What do you want to play with me? The little things.
Probably Battle Blades.
Battle
That's
Blades.
his thing.
Has he
I
done-
can't think of anything crazy big, but he's stupid every day. He's a little boy. He dunks into something, breaks something on the daily. And he's all boy, right? I think he's got a
that makes sense.
gigantic bruise on his forehead right now.
So-
I'm not sure from what.
Yeah, he's going to, is he at kindergarten, dude?
He is.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I remember that he was going to school because I talked to him at Target. I ran into him and
Yeah, he told me all
Chantry's
about
wife
it.
Christy at Target. He was telling me all about, going to kindergarten, so there you go. So Chantry's in the studio, we're gonna talk today about, I like this topic, by the way. This is a fun topic. Does my home price or my mortgage payment matter more? It's a good question, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's a great question.
Cause Andy, what do most people pay attention to?
Monthly payment.
Yeah.
But when you go in and buy a car, they don't even tell you the price of a car anymore, they tell you, hey, your payment's gonna be
Right.
$375 or whatever.
Yeah, and so what's so funny about that is, that's what we really care about, we're gonna talk about that. Yet, in real estate, we're always looking at the listing price.
Correct.
And then when we really get down to it, we're like, well, and so we're gonna talk about whether that matters or not today. We are. And Jesse, don't let me forget to talk about, as we wrap up today, about these home stagers at, First Impressions that saved us. I think they saved us out at Brookwood. So Chantry, you've been with Guild Mortgage, with your firm. I mean, it was before it was Guild, it was SGI. So how long have you been at this?
Since 2006.
Yeah, man. So just a year less than I've been, I mean, just as long as I have really. I mean, I started in '05, but it was like August of '05. So 2006.
Yeah.
How many home mortgage loans do you believe you have been tied to, involved in transacting?
I haven't totaled that, but probably pretty close to 3,000 if I just put a number out.
See, we thought we were a lot of 1,200 home sales. Wow, it's a lot, man.
I know, right? Crazy.
3,000 home loans.
Pretty close, I know.
I'd like to think that you've seen everything, but the reality is you never see everything,
Everything's different every day.
right? I mean, you never see everything. And you know that, and you've been in radio for a long time.
Yep.
How long?
By the way, well, 25 years,
Yeah.
I've done over 4,000 football, basketball, and baseball games.
Have you really?
In the last 25
4,000
years.
football, basketball games,
And baseball, yeah.
and baseball.
And how long?
25 years?
Wow.
Oh, my mercy, man.
4,000.
That's a lot of stuff.
And you're right about that, you think you've seen everything, there's always something. I had something new last weekend, and off the air we can talk about it.
Oh, yeah, I like
Always
that.
something new.
I love off-the-air kinds of stuff.
Everyone's like, do share.
I actually did on the show earlier this week, but basically a belligerent fan grabbed my crowd mic and started using words you can't use on it.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah.
You need to
Whoops.
take Jesse as a security guard next time.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Well, I have 3 sons. If either of my first 2 sons had been there would have been a fight. My 3rd son happened to be the most mellow guy I know, and there was not a fight, but there probably could have, should have, would have been.
The belligerent fan got it and started saying, "La, la, la." Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
That's priceless.
Parents of athletes are crazy.
And it was a parent. In fact, after the game, the AD told me, he said, this guy has been a problem since his son entered the program 4 years ago.
What a deal, man. Oh, my gosh. Well, you know what, look, no one's grabbing the mic here and using expletives.
Jesse? Oh, here's
Say, how'd you like to be
Andy's
that
got
kid?
4,000 games he's called. Chantry Abbott here with Guild Mortgage, 3,000 home loans is what we're estimating. He hasn't seen it all, but he often sees it all. So people come in, and they come into our world, and it's like their whole world is the price reduction world. You know that, don't you, Chantry? Price reduced, new price. Hey, I just saw on Zillow that the price was reduced on. People, they talk about that. But when they get down and they actually show up in your office and provide all of the financials that they need to in order to secure a loan for their home, what do they actually care about?
Monthly payment every time. That's why I always
Period.
start with, hey, what, I don't say what price home do you want to buy. I say, what are you comfortable with in a monthly payment? That's where we start.
That's it. Okay, well, that's the show, folks. Have a great Thursday. So, tell me more about it. So,
I think it's the #1 mistake folks make is they start looking at home prices online and fall in love with certain homes. And you know how it is, they come to you guys a little bit after they've already fell in love with the home or fell in love with a few homes. #1, they're on Zillow and that home probably isn't even available because, a little secret, Zillow leaves homes for sale that aren't for sale, right? They have misleading information, so don't go there, right?
yeah,
Go
it's
to you guys, go to Realty.
because the information that they're getting is actually provided from agents through various, pipes and hoses that are connected via the internet. So it's all secondhand information, because
Right.
they're fourthhand.
Secondhand, yep. And then number 2 is, how would you have any clue what kind of home you want if you don't know what the monthly payment's gonna be or what you want for a monthly payment? When you're thinking about going to get a rental, They go to the property manager and say, hey, I need something for $1,200 a month. That's where they
Yep.
start. I think buying a house needs to start there too. You got a monthly budget, unless you're a cash buyer. A cash buyer ought to be thinking about the amount of cash they have.
Dude,
A
what-
mortgage buyer ought to be thinking about the payment first.
What you just said, is that so true? When you go for a rental, you go for a payment.
That's all that, yeah.
When I go to the auto place, the Honda Pilot that has a crushed back left door that I drive, that was pristine yesterday, this 2018 Pilot, all I went in was price. Well, excuse me, monthly payment.
Well, yeah.
I
think
just said,
Andy
just give me the monthly payment.
They put it on the window, right?
Yeah, I said, I need X. I don't, cause I knew it was gonna be on the threshold, this vehicle. I need X, I don't want anything other than X.
Yeah, you
If
figured out
you
your
can't
budget.
make that, then just, whatever, dude.
Yep, figured out your budget, and that's what you wanted, right? No matter what it was, that was the thing
Right.
that you could afford.
Yeah, so, this is so fascinating, so we released an article, and I actually just shared it to Facebook, so if you're on Facebook Live, you can see it. Title of the article is, Forget the price of the home, the cost is what matters, right? Yep, the actual cost, and what is the cost? Cost in our world is
Payment.
monthly payment, right? So it's kind of fascinating here. Home prices, so they talk about this, the impact of market factors on purchasing power. Okay, so home prices right now, so they said, let's pretend, well, not pretend, from January to August 2019 this year, because we're always like looking back a little bit, right? Rear view mirror driving in. Home prices went up 5.7%. This is nationally.
But we follow nationally. Everyone thinks we're isolated, but we're
Yeah.
pretty,
Okay.
we follow it.
So home prices going up impacted buyers' purchasing powers by $21,300. It means by the price going up, it's almost like they lost $21,000, right? Because the price went up by $21,000. Okay, you go with me here. Mortgage rates fell by 0.85%, Chantry, according to what we released, and of course, we're using national averages, right, First American and these companies. So buyers lost $22,000 and $21,000 in buying power because prices went up. But they gained $40,000 because interest rates went down.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that amazing? So we actually get, you know what I mean? We actually got buying power back while prices were going up.
Right.
Think about that. Home prices went up and it got more affordable.
Got more affordable.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay, so,
And when we think of affordability, we're just talking monthly payment. So think about that. The affordability got better because the monthly payment became less for the same home, even though the price went up.
yep. Yeah. Hey, if you're a mortgage person or a real estate person and you're watching our Facebook Live, chime in if you've had a situation like this or seen this scenario. So Chantry, let's talk about this for a minute. Can we talk $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 homes?
Yeah.
Mortgage, what would my payment be on a $200,000 home, and what do you factor in as a typical, like, what would be the factors?
Let me give somebody a scenario of like a low down payment, like a 3% down. We have 0 down, but
Okay,
let's say
3%.
3%.
Let's not say 0, because that's as absurd as a first-time buyer having 20%.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3% down,
A general rule of thumb is for every $1,000 in purchase price, your monthly payment's gonna be about $6 a month right now.
well, you love it, that's
Now-
my factor I like to use.
What that monthly payment includes is everything included in the mortgage except for utilities. So you've got your mortgage payment, if you have mortgage insurance that's part of the monthly payment, your property taxes, and then your homeowner's insurance if the house were to burn down or flood or whatever else. If you use $6 for every 1,000, so you could take on a calculator, let's say
Yep.
200,000
Okay, we'll do it,
times 0.006.
yep, okay, $200,000 times 0.006.
You got 1,200.
$1,200 a month.
Good
And there's
ballpark.
Ballpark. So, and there's two ways to run into that. Then the other way that I do it is I say, well, I have a $200,000 house and I'm gonna bring 3% down, so 97% of that's $194. I just had $6,000 to put down on my house.
Yeah.
Now I own a house. How fun is this? For $6,000, now I own the home. Now I'm in charge. Now the landlord is not in charge of my life. And I took 194 times $6, Chantry's beautiful, 1164. I think 1,200 is gonna be a little safer.
Yeah.
$1,200 home payment. Would people like to know, Andy, would you like to know what you can buy for, own for $1,200 a month?
Sure.
Because again, we're talking about payment. you can grab yourself a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a 55-plus community in Hurricane, 2-car garage, for $198,700. You can buy yourself, you know, Chantry, you could hop over to and get yourself a Parkside townhome in, off of Westridge, you know, Sunset Boulevard for $197,000. A lot of folks like to buy Hidden Valley townhomes. Crazy, they've gone up $100,000 over the last 8-9 years. But for $204,000, for $1,200 a month, you can own your own 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, 1,430 square foot Hidden Valley townhome and take the kids out to the pool. You can also buy, I love this. Does this sound like real estate talk, guys? Charming, affordable, and it has a huge backyard. You can buy a little single family home, 1,100 feet in Washington Park, like old Washington by the rec center. 205, you could have a $1,200 payment. Fair enough? All right, let's jump. So, is this making sense, Andy? 'Cause, I mean, you're a consumer.
Yeah.
We're really just talking about payment.
Right, right.
Let's get nerdy and reverse that one more for a second.
Please?
So somebody says, you know what, I really think we're ready to buy a house, we're paying $1,300 a month in rent, I just got a raise at work, and I think I could afford a $1,500 house payment, how much house can I buy? We can reverse it, so
Okay, let's talk about that.
1,500 divided by 0.006.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's do 1,500. Do you love the backwards? $1,500. I have $1,500 to spend a month in. By the way, 0.006, which is our $6 factor. $250,000 house.
There you go. That's where you should be looking. Now, obviously, get with a mortgage guy, make sure that works for you, make sure you qualify let's put in all the disclaimers, right? Andy, how fast can you read all the disclaimers? You know,
Yeah.
all that.
We have a little machine that can make it sound faster while we're recording.
But general of thumb, think about that. I mean, that's kind of where you should start. And I'll call people that have been searching on the internet for 6 months, and they have never thought about what that's gonna look like. They just know that they need 3 beds, 2 bath, and a 3-car garage.
Yeah.
And I get all that, but that's not gonna really be what they buy. They're gonna buy what they can afford.
Classic. That the little house on Washington, downtown Washington, rent's estimate $1,200 a month. The rental's estimate $1,200 a month. Owning's estimate $1,200 a month. Right?
Yeah.
Not his estimate, our estimate. Let's talk about a $400,000 house. What could somebody buy for $400,000? What's their payment? So Chantry, run the same math for our listeners.
$2,400.
$2,400. So how do we do it? We say, okay, you got a $400,000 house, and we multiply it by 0.006, which means $6 for every 1,000 you borrow. $2,400. So for $2,400 a month, you can own a $400,000 house, right? Really. Now, the wild part is people say that's a lot of money. I get it. So the average home value right now, median home value is about $350,000. So I can tell you right now what that is. This is with 3% down. Right?
Yeah, we're just talking a low down payment.
Okay, now it's $2,100 a month. Now, let's back up, Chantry. Let's say that I can buy a $350,000 house, I have 20% down.
Yeah.
Right? So, I guess we're not gonna use 6 as a factor.
It's probably more like 5.
Yeah. So $350,000 house, divide, times multiple, 0.005, $1,750 a month.
Yeah.
You own a house. Really, in the world, Andy, that's a good mortgage payment.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine. He runs a Sotheby's franchise. It used to be Keller Williams out in Manhattan Beach, California. Moved out there, moved his family from Phoenix, Arizona. They said, we're gonna put you up because you're gonna run this franchise, and we're gonna give you, they were gonna putting him into a housing, stipend for him.
Yeah.
He found a 1,700 square foot Rambler, really pretty area, up in the hills, it was green, but this thing was built in 1955. Okay, $5,000.
Wow.
That was rent.
And 1,700.
$5,000.
1,700, moderate. That's not tiny, but that's not a big home at all.
No, it's not. So,
Your price should matter.
okay,
More than payment. Cash buyer, somebody that's looking to flip the home short term, like in less than a year or 2.
okay,
And if you're looking to do that, you may not want to consider getting a mortgage, right? Because you're going to pay closing costs and realtor fees and all that. If it's a short-term thing, reevaluate your thought process. So, cash buyer or home flipper. Other than that, I think you should start with cost and payment more than price of the home.
yeah. What is the most typical right now, because you're doing this every day? What's the most typical, priced, let's talk about this, monthly payment, desired that comes in your office? what is, you know what I mean, of all the, you know, like, what's the most typical we see?
Somewhere between 15 and 1,700 probably.
Okay, 1,500 to 1,700 bucks a month is what you see coming in typically. And, what percentage of people want to stretch just past what they can actually afford?
Yeah, some do. They wanna go just a little, you know, just barely push that bubble, but I honestly feel like most people, it's probably more common, people are like, oh, I don't wanna be house poor. I know how much I qualify for, I really don't wanna go all the way up to that. That's more common, honestly.
I love hearing that. That's a cool trend, right?
True, yeah. That's how we work, yep.
Yep, for the longest time, it was like, we qualify for 400, great, what's available at 425?
Yeah. And you still get
That's
it
what people
occasionally,
would
but
do.
not always, but not
You know?
most of the time. How much are so let's talk about rents for 2 seconds. How much are the, you know, the new complex that's built out by, I think it's out by Smith's, that those really nice apartments, I think they're about 1,500-1,600 a month, right?
Are they? Well, that's what I thought, but I don't know, man. What is that even called? You know what we're talking about?
It's out by the new Smith's, like if
Something
you're heading to
Crossing.
Washington Fields or
It's
else
at the
you're going
Dino
to
Crossing.
Valley.
I wish I knew.
I think it's 1,500 or 1,600 a month.
Mhm.
And so I think it's kind of hard to find a rental under 1,500 really.
Yeah, it's tricky. So let's transition and we'll wrap the show up. Got Chantry Abbott here. Thank you for being with us and sharing some cool perspective.
It's always a pleasure.
Rule of thumb, if somebody wants to go out and find out with like 3% down, if they can buy what they can afford for a house for a monthly payment, they multiply what times every 1,000 they're borrowing.
Yeah, so take your purchase price,
Mhm.
times it by .006, and that's equating $6 a month for every $1,000 you borrow. Or you can reverse factor it. What do you want in payment? 1,500, divide that by .006, it'll give you, like we did the math, 250.
It's so simple, right? So this is a good transition. Look, home values are high here, and rents are pretty high here, mainly because wages are low here.
Yeah,
Because see, if we look at Manhattan Beach, California, and people go, Manhattan Beach, that sounds, no, I didn't say at the beach. I mean like just up in the hills of Bay Way. $5,000 for this guy's 1955 house to rent.
wow.
So what we have is lower wages in St. George. Our values actually nationally aren't that out of control.
Right. Everyone from California thinks our values are low.
Yeah, they come here and go, this is crazy, I can't even believe you guys have this. So, we don't know how to solve that today, right? We don't. If you've got questions, but that's just the point I wanna make. If you've got questions about getting a home mortgage, I want you to pick a phone call, 435-674-1090.
They can even text that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, oh, you can text 674-1090?
Text us.
Sweet, talk to these guys at Guild Mortgage, they're fantastic. Chantry is one of our, by the way, donors, as we transition out of here, for the St. George Basket Brigade, guys. We are 9 days from feeding about 200 families. Guild Mortgage is one of our donors, they're gonna be feeding a good number of families for us. If you have not donated, $50 will feed a family of 5, visit stgeorgebasketbrigade.org. And man, Jesse, you're right, the people at, First Impressions Home Staging, if you're an agent, call them, they saved this, and you're gonna wanna come out and see what they did at Brookwood today, 833 North Camino Pico Drive. Over now.
Thanks.
All right, Jeremy Larkin, the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive.